Hello everyone. So today's live is hello everyone. Hello. So today's live is just a short live because I've received many questions about how I started my fashion business, what is my story. So I thought to make a live today inside my store now, which is quite calm right now. And I wanted to just tell you how I started, when I started, which is a long time ago in 2007. And I started my fashion business in 2007. And so it's a long time right now. I don't have only Maiden Art jewelry as my business. I have ebooks for fashion right now. I have also 2 bed and breakfasts in Italy under my company name Maiden Art, but things were not easy at all at the beginning. So that's why I wanted to share my story, because I think that many of you can get inspired and maybe they feel also more relieved to know that other people had the same troubles or the same struggles as them. And I had the same struggles and the same problems like you. When I started in 2007, so I started that I was 23 years old actually, and I started just straight leaving my job that I was a kids wear designer and women's wear designer at a company in Italy called Brooms. I was designing all the women's wear collections and the kids wear collections for little kids, little girls actually. And when I started with no money at all. I was very courageous for the time, because I felt to apply for grant, European grant, and I won that grant actually. And the same time I thought, as I was not I didn't have many financial informations, and also I just had my creativity at that time. And so I also didn't know very much about how to deal with the funds, financial situation, the cash flow. I thought to, at the same time, as I didn't have many resources, I thought to also teach how to create women's wear collections in 2 schools in Italy. One called YED Moda Lab in Milan, and another one called Accademia del Lusso. So in that way I could provide money for my business, that was a side business at that time, and at the same time I could also survive, let's say. So I thought to start in that way. Hello everyone that is coming here. And so I thought to start in that way. It was difficult. The things that I want to tell you, it was a total another world, in the sense that at that time in 2007 there were no social media. For me, I was not acknowledged by social media, and in the fashion world, in the fashion industry, the most important thing to do was to participate to trade fairs. So at that time I was selling clothes, my clothes collection. I was not doing jewelry in 2007. Jewelry just went after, because of an accident at a trade fairs, Pitti in Florence. Basically the manufacturer that was producing my collection, my samples collections, didn't produce for the trade fairs, and so I had no samples, So the only thing I could do was to just create a very small collection of jewelry by myself, by my hand, if I didn't want to go with an empty booth. So I decided to, it was very risky. I had many problems at that time, so but I tried anyway to go if I didn't want to lose my money, because as you know, when you apply for a trade fair, you apply to have your stand, your booth, like 6 months in advance. And that's what happened. So I applied 6 months in advance, but my samples were not ready. So it was a nightmare, completely a nightmare. So the only thing I could do was to prepare in a very, very short period of time a small jewelry collection. But the point of this story is that when I started, I didn't have social media, didn't have e-commerce. Now we have more chances, and I had only the only way I could do was to apply for trade fairs to find buyers, wholesalers for my collection. So, but I had to put lots of money in advance. So hello everyone, sorry for the interruption. I had a call coming to my phone. And so I was saying, for that time it was quite difficult because I had to really put lots of money in advance. And then and without knowing exactly how things were going at the trade fairs. So many times I tried in this way in 2007, and you can imagine right now I had to always to anticipate money before getting orders from buyers. So I did that for 1 year, I think. And I also got a loan from a bank because at the same time, as I said before, I was working as a teacher professor at IED Moda Lab and Accademia del Lusso. So with that loan, I could prepare samples to present at the trade fairs and also to book this booth at the trade fairs. So that time, at one point it was so hard because I spent all the money I had, and at that time I went in a very big debt of $50,000. So that was a very big crisis, crazy time. But from the negative side, I was able to turn to a positive side, and I started to think, maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there's something wrong because I was not receiving enough orders. I was not, receiving enough orders to pay all the bills, to being able also to book in advance for the next season, the trade fairs, because so I had also to book the staying, the hotels, and put lots of money on that. So I started to think that something was wrong. And I started to think that the most important thing that I should do at that time was to invest in myself. Why? Because I didn't have enough knowledge about marketing, but I came from a creative side. So I thought I had to think about marketing, I had to think about mindset, there's something wrong. And the thing that was completely wrong, that I was not targeting the right customers for my collections. I didn't have the idea, completely the right idea who was my dream customer, the person that could buy my fashion products. So I started to think and invest in myself. So how I was able to change the situation. After a break of I think 1 year after, I had to stop a little bit. So think I kept working in the fashion school, of course, to pay the bills and to get my wage as well. And then I started to invest in myself. What I mean with investing in myself, I started to learn about how I can attract my dream customer, how I could attract actually my dream customer, how I could offer something that was irresistible for them and was solving some problems for them, giving them benefits and also satisfying some needs. That's what I always tell to my students in my courses. You need really always to solve a problem, satisfy a need, and give benefits with your offer. That was the main point, but was not enough, because at one point I started to create I think it was 2008, I opened my first online shop, and Shopify was, I think was the first year it was in the first or second year of business. I found online that platform. It was really very, very basic at that time. I opened my first e-commerce. It was, I think it was about 2010, 2011, something like that. I don't remember very well right now. But then I started to think how I could sell directly to customers and to find the right customers for my collections. So not only thinking how to attract them, but how I can solve some problems for them. So I started to create an offer with a customer always in mind. And that's the basic of changing. So changing the mindset from me that was different from before, but also was a different type of products that I started to create. Of course, I started to focus more on jewelry. Now I don't have only jewelry, now it's a more lifestyle brand. But in that time, year after year, I started to produce jewelry, handmade statement jewelry, and with a customer in mind. And always a jewelry that could, the main point was a jewelry that could enhance the beauty of my customer, but also boost the confidence of my customer. The women in my mind were very similar to me. Women that they needed not to wear always fancy stuff, but very simple stuff, but with a touch of jewelry could feel more confident, more strong, more like a warrior, like in my mind. That was my idea. And then I started to attract better stores, because for many years I worked with wholesalers. I sold my jewelry all over the world. I had agents in Japan, I had agents in US, Los Angeles, a showroom in Los Angeles, a showroom in New York, in Russia as well. And then step by step, I learned also how to attract customers online with building my email list. It seems now very simple saying like that, but I want to tell you something. Every single day you should build your email list, because your email list is the secret of your business. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all whatever you want, social media are important, but your email list is your weapon, is your key secret to connect with your customers. But even also if you have their contact, like private contact, it's great, like a WhatsApp number or some direct contact outside of social media, because it's not enough. You need to have a direct contact with your customers, and that's the only way to build a consistent business that give you consistent sales. That's the most important thing, the secret, I would say. And it's not only the years by years I kept learning, and I'm still learning every single day. And now I would suggest you also to start to think about creating sales funnels for your fashion business, because it's not only enough to build an email list, but you need to have a funnel, which is a system that is able to attract your dream customers, nurture them with your valuable informations, tips, create a connection. Because the thing is to create a true, important, real connection with the people you are working with. Whether you are selling fashion products or fashion services, but the most important is to bring a connection, but a real connection through your emails. The best thing would be send one per day. I always tell that to myself as well, but sometimes I'm not able to send every day an email, to even just to say, hi, how are you? Because we are not numbers, we are real people. And it's not always easy to create this connection. But more we try, I am sure we can build a better connection with the people, with our customers or potential customers. That's my suggestion from the bottom of my heart. That's how I work, and even myself, I don't do in every time consistently. Sometimes I make the mistakes that I'm busy, I cannot write an email, and that's bad, because you really need to create a very strong connection with the people you love, the people you work with your customers or potential customers. And it's very hard, but it's important, because it's not enough only to be on social media. Social media is great. It's a great way to have a direct and short, quick communication with people. But it's not enough, because, the algorithms change, the social media changes all the time, and the contact is not yours. So what you have to do is to work on that, and more than that, to create a sales funnel that can help you to stay connected with your potential customers. And what else? That's my best advice. And the best advice I can give you is to try to be consistent every single day. But it's not an advice only for you. It's advice for myself too, because I have to teach what I preach, to teach what I preach. I mean, to do something that is right. But, sometimes it's difficult. But every day the best thing to do is to do that, to really create the most real, true connection with the people you want to work and people you love. Because I think that customers are not only customers, are part of your life. They help you they buy your products, or your fashion products, or your fashion services, but sometimes they become friends. I have friends that are not only customers in my brick and mortar store here in Italy. They became friends. We share our thoughts, we share our lives, we share what are the struggles, what are the goals, what we achieve, what are the success. But it's important to be unique and real. And the best thing is to build your email list every single day. And it's not difficult. For example, if you work on Instagram, you can use this social media to attract your potential customers. There are many ways all the time, adding a call to action to your post. Like, for example, why don't you sign up for my free tips from the link in bio, or in the reels you are creating. It's not important to have many followers or have many views in reels. honestly, I don't care. The thing I care is to connect with the people I find, for example, in Instagram, and help them with their challenges. And you should do the same with your fashion business. For example, if you are a fashion designer and you are showing your collections online, why don't you create some tips to feel better with that collection? Emotionally, I want to make a very, very personal and clear, practical example. Right now in my jewelry business, I'm developing my jewelry business not only from jewelry now, it's becoming a more lifestyle brand. And Maiden Art is changing from only producing jewelry right now, but with adding clothes, adding ebooks, because I changed myself. And so my fashion business reflects what I'm doing. And I added also candles for meditation and mindfulness. It's more mindful fashion right now. And so what I created also ebooks from my personal experience in the self-love topic, in the mindfulness. And for example, I created also an ebook that was about the beauty from inside and the beauty from outside. And the beauty from outside was just how to wear clothes that are connected with our inside. And that's why I added also the self-love routine. For example, I've created a skincare line as well for my brand Maiden Art that was based on the concept of self-love. So the point is, why don't you create something that you can offer for free to attract your dream customer, offering valuable tips, maybe enhancing their beauty. Maybe you are working with the plus size women and you are creating clothes for them. And with that niche, why don't you you give also advice how to wear that, how women can feel more confident with your plus size collection. And the same thing you can do if you are fashion service, if you have a fashion service business, you are a stylist and you are working, for example, with plus size women. Why don't you create a guide for them, which is free, and you can offer in Instagram, and people that they want to get that guide, they can maybe share their email, their contact, WhatsApp contact, email contact, what is more better for you also to use. And in that way you can create a better connection with your customer. So try to be true, try to be unique, and try to share what really comes from your heart. That's my best tip for today. So I just don't want to make very, very long, because now I have to do another live on my fashion brand, Maiden Art. And so I hope that I gave you an explanation of what I'm working now, and also my story as well. And I hope this can be very helpful for you and be an inspiration for you. So thank you so much for being here, and I talk to you in the next live. Bye for now.